I've started recording now. As I was saying, there are a lot of um, you know mm, topics you are gonna learn in SEM4, and everything is advanced, like advanced modeling, advanced lighting and rendering, like advanced shading, even paint effects, or like these are dynamics. You'll be learning a lot of dynamics, kind of VFX, like how do we create VFX, visual effects in 3D. Okay, you will be learning crowd simulation and all. Uh, mm, Theoretical part is like 3D projection mapping and augmented reality is there. You will learn that, and followed by portfolio. Okay. So in 3D modeling and all, you'll be learning game set designing and all, and other stuff. Okay. So let's start. And before that, you have to share few of the assignments of SEM3. Okay. That's for your updating your final score. Okay. Final marks into the portal. So do share. Okay. So whatever you have done, like what I was asked earlier, you have to share that. So, and one more thing in SEM4, every session, like we'll start from scratch and we'll end up, with an output, or um, same session, let's say, for example, when we are creating a set designing or an environment, okay, it might go for 2 days, 3 days, or 4 days, because a lot of detailing we'll be doing. Okay. So in that case and all, um, we'll take more sessions for one topic. So don't miss your classes. Okay. So like a lot of game environments or other stuffs and all which you can create. Looks good. Okay. Even you can create the ecosystem and all. We'll see all that. Okay. We can create a city also. Majorly, like you'll be learning detailing. How do we do, bit more of detailing in this and all. Okay. And coming to modeling, like you'll be learning low poly modeling, which is very benefit. Okay. So for example, if you look into this, it's a low poly modeling, but high detailed texturing is there in this. Okay. So you will learn such models, such sort of game environments. So when you look into this, that's how it is. Okay. It's like an environment. We built an environment. Okay. If you look into this, this is, and one complete set, one environment is there where we can create a story around this. Okay, something like that. This is also fine. So this looks good. So I think, and this is more simpler. Let's take something, which is having more. Mhm. Yeah, this is fine. Okay, this is in, like proper modeling effect, I think definitely we can go with this. Okay. If you want a reference with lighting also, it's better you can pick something like this or other, um, this or this. Yeah, what proper lighting effect is there? Yeah, I think we can go with this. So I'm just saving this image. Okay. Okay, like that, multiple reference are there. You just see all that. Okay. So, okay, MD dropped. Okay, just a question. Do you have, you guys are going for school for lab and all? Me, Bayabunga.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, great. Fine then. Um, okay, so in modeling, like as you all know, in the last, like in the SEM3, you have learned fundamentals and basic models and all. Like I think for the entire pipeline you have learned. This time you'll be learning more of, as I told you, advanced modeling. So we'll be starting with modeling. So that rather than just sticking into only creating modeling stuff, this is what like the plan is, wherein we pick references, based on that, like we start creating the model. While we create the model, after the modeling, we do unwrapping, we do, texturing. We will complete this entire set. Okay. So once we do that, we will be having this particular set, which you can use for your show reel. Okay. So something like, fine then. First thing, so we need to create a new project. Go to project window. It's a new, so it's a new one. So it's like set game environment. Okay. And a game environment, SEM4, select, accept. So I'm gonna place this under source images. This is a reference. So here what I'll do, I can place this in my front view. So view, image plane, import image. This is how we will import the image, reference images. This you have already know this. So I'm importing this image, Maya is smart, automatically it goes to the source images of this particular folder. I open this. Yeah. So I press up arrow so that, I can select this. I can just do a placement over here. And I come to perspective. I push this backside. Okay. So I would like to keep this as a reference. When I do modeling, I have to look at this reference and do. So then I keep this in a layer. Then under R, reference mode. So I rename this layer also as reference. Okay. So I'm able to see, I'm not able to select Y because I have kept in a layer and I enabled R, that is as a reference mode. So let's break this images now, in the sense how are we gonna create. So if you see, you need to understand first a main thing. Observe, for a modeler, okay, for an artist, like we should have a very good observation. Okay, so you have a platform, you have platform on the left side and the right side, both the side. And proportion, you should learn proportion. What is a proportion? What is the meaning of proportion? Okay, it's quite simple. The size of an object or a form, okay, it cannot be a bigger size or a smaller size, you know. How much ever is required or how much ever is there, in realistic, it has to be something like that. Let's say, for example, you have a pen, which is means, which you are going to write. Assume if the pen is 10 times in a bigger size, so the proportion of the pen is not right. That's not user friendly, means that's not handy, that's not how it has to be. And just think of your table or your desk, okay, where you place your laptop and you work, the desk. Just think your laptop is so smaller on top of the desk, right? A proportion, I'm just giving an example of proportion. So here also, just, like, you need to visualize, you need to look at the reference very carefully. Okay, I cannot make the train so smaller because it doesn't go well with this reference. So all these things we need to keep in mind, like when we are working. Okay, fine. Fine, then let's start the model. I start the model with, adding, means, let me create one side first. If I create one side, I can duplicate this, I can reuse somewhere here. Okay, so that I'll focus on creating platform, a platform bottom to the platform. Okay, and there are a few pillars, and if you notice, there are some a place to sit. It's kind of a longer chair. Okay, so like a platform chair. Okay, and there are, means, observe, you need to observe carefully. There are so many elements which are over here. I think there are some papers or some sort of things which has fallen over here. Some tiny stones are there. Here you have a railings. This seems to be like a narrow gauge uh, track. There are two type of tracks: broad gauge and narrow gauge. I think this is a narrow gauge track. Broad gauge means this will be even more broader. Okay, something like, okay. And again, there are few railings over here. Okay. Um, fine. And if you notice closely, whatever is there box here, here also it is there, like a cooler or something. Okay. And these are graffiti. Okay. Design or graffiti texture we can think of adding, and there is a station name also is there. So I can think of, doing placements and all for all this. Okay, fine. That's the initial observation. When we look in closely, and when we start, I think more and more detailing we can do. Okay, so let's create it. So first thing I'll be selecting, or let me take a box. I'll go from the top view. Something like this I'm just making. Okay, and just a minute. It's something like this. I think, let's say if I just think of this area, I would like to bring this bit more taller like this. Um, I can take this up to here. fine. Up to here is fine. Okay. And I'll not be using more mesh in this. It's a limited. Okay. So this part is done. What? The simple platform is done. Now, I don't have to add extra mesh. I don't want to extrude. So this particular area, the wall is there, right? I can just create it this way. Done. Okay. So now when I place this here, see here you can see it in a gray color and here you can see it in a dark color. It's because these are face normals, normal, face normals. Okay. So if you go to, I'm in modeling, and if I go to mesh display, I can reverse the normal. Okay. When I reverse the normal, what happened? See the other side. It's like, let's say for example, if this is a normal, when I take a render in Maya software or any of the tool, okay, for time being, I'll just go with the software. Okay. And when I take a render, that is the other side of the object. Okay. So this is the front side of the object. That's how it is. Okay. So I think it's fine. And the platform is also fine. And the wall is also fine. If at all, if it is, I think it's fine. Yeah. So I'm just looking it properly. I'm gonna place it over here, a bit down, and I'll see here. I'll go to vertex, one here, and this here. Okay. Okay. So it's something like this. Then next part is of pillar. So how many pillars are there? Let's look into this closely. See, model part, very simple way of doing modeling we are doing, but texturing, we'll do high detail texturing for this. One pillar, two pillar. Okay, I think here you can see 1, 2, 3. So let's assume here one is there, 4. Okay. And what is the position of the pillar? Somewhere in the center of this. Okay, then I go to top view. Somewhere in the center, I click. I think it's okay. I'm going to place this here. So I just place it exactly over here. Okay. So considering this, I need 3 more here, right? So I duplicate this. I place it one here, Shift D, and like this. Okay. Duplicate special, it's all fine. I think it's okay, like this. Okay. Then let's create the bottom part, right? Now pillar is there. There are few more tiny props are there, like some metal object, the seat and all. Let us create the main thing first, then we'll go with this. Okay. So I want to create this one. For this, let me create a plane, simple plane. Up to here. So now, why did I make, the size means the width of this is quite large, bigger than means quite larger than this particular platform. Let's say, see the width of this is smaller, this is a bit larger, because if you notice here, just observe this and this compared to this is quite larger because two trains has to fit. Okay, I can make it even more, a bit larger. Okay, I think it's fine. A bit I increase. I think it's okay. Fine. Okay, now on top of this, we need to start adding or creating these railings and all. Okay, so for the railings, let me create this metal bar first. Okay. How is this metal bar looking? We have one here, we have one here. I think this is on top of this. And when I look into this, the other side, that is this side, means this side, we have one at top of this as well. And we have one on top of this as well. I think there is some chamber sort of stuff is there which is connecting. Okay, we need to create all that. So the more detail you do, your model will be that good. Okay.
When the other user will be accessing it. So this is something depends on the completion of the entire activity that are there. But what we can do is post a launch, then we can embed it the ERP from the 3 months of the launch.
Fine. Let me take a cube for this. So by looking at this reference, the size, I'm gonna create
I mean, what I'm trying to say is, let's say we have 1,000 users, not all 1,000
like
let's
this.
select that at the same time and complete that 45 days, right? Or 3 months, right? Or what you're saying. So if it goes to all of them, is my understanding right?
Okay, so the proportion, it has to be smaller. It cannot be this big.
Available after 3 months, so that survey would be available for all the users, even if they're completed, not completed.
Okay,
But that
it's
would be
something like this.
something which is not linked to one particular user activity. There's one common activity. Everyone has to.
I'm selecting this. Just place it over here. Similarly, here I'm selecting this and I'm placing it here. Okay. So now I did this one. Okay, if I just notice here, okay. Okay, that's a separate part. That's a paint or yeah, that's a paint. This is proper in a square shape. Okay, yeah, it's a square shape. There is a cylinder over here, one cylinder and another cylinder. Let's see. Okay. So
But in the description of this like survey, we can clearly explain like when supposed to fill it. So let's say you lost in program in first week of July. Okay, so after 3 months, let's say July, September, October, in the first week of November, you send them the notification
okay, I
saying that the
duplicate
survey is available.
one here.
The survey. So in the emailer also, plus in the description of the particular activity, it is clearly written that they only after completion of the number. So they will not touch it if they are not filled, if they are not completed the number. So this could be one of the solutions for this problem that you have, where you want to see like how they are actually applying the learning in their day-to-day activities. They will not work with this survey if they are not completed it. Yeah. All right, I mean, they are go with that. But,
Okay, we have only one. Let me save this in source image scenes folder. One. This is another piece over here. Okay, I select this both. This both has to be quite big in size compared to the bottom one. It's okay. Now, then after this, I think I need this one, like a bit push to the right and this to the left. Then we need to add this, pieces. It's like this.
So, Cheryl, so we have noted down this problem. We'll reach out to them and ask them to work on it individually, and there's a few months time. But in case the solution is
Okay, so I'm just duplicating this now. Control D. So I think this much is fine. Then Shift D. Shift D for duplicate special. Okay. Now look at this. We created this. Okay. Then if you notice there are small stones and all is required, that we can play with the texture. Okay. Now what I'll do, I'm selecting all this. I'm gonna deselect this, but only this much I'm selecting. I would like to make a group of this. Group, Control G, modify, center pivot. Then I'm gonna duplicate this. I would like to place this somewhere here. Or up to here. Okay, then I select this. Okay, this much has been done. Next, I'm gonna select this one. Only this one. I group this, modify center pivot. I'm gonna duplicate this. See, this is an x-axis. Control D in minus x, scale -1. -1. Then I'm gonna push this side, this one, the other side. Got it? Understood? How did we create this? Bayabonga May MD.
Yes, it's clear, sir.
It's quite simple. See, I'm not complicating the model. It's so simple. Okay, I need to include some cylinders. Then if I observe here, there are some kind of locking system is there here. If you just observe, these are the things, which we need to do. I need to create a chamber. Okay, so these are the detailing part which we need to do. Okay, and I duplicate this. I'm gonna place it here. Something like this. Okay. So forward, like I can create some tunnel sort of stuff and all that we'll see later. To do that, what even I can do is I select this edge. I extrude this up to here. Similarly, select this edge, shift right click extrude, place it up to here. Okay. This is how it looks. Looks great. Remaining stuff, we can create it later. Okay. So do one thing, you just work on it up to here. Okay. I'll share this reference image. Okay, I'll share the reference image. You can start working on this. Got it? Any doubts? Babanga Mai, MD?
No, sir.
Fine, then in the beginning, like we'll go a bit slow. So I want you to create up to here till our next class. If possible, if you create even more, let's say a few of these areas and all that, that's well and good. Okay. So we'll continue remaining things in our next class. I'll upload this video as well as this image in the WhatsApp and I'll share it with you all. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then take care. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Bye.